Work smarter, not harder is a phrase we've all heard a million times. You've probably said it a million times. It's just one of those cliches that people like to say when you find an easier way to do things. Plus, it's catchy, it rhymes. Of course you want to say it. But what if I told you that while it sounds nice, it's kind of misleading? And it's not the only one. Many of your favorite sayings and phrases are also beautiful lies. So in this video, we're going to be going over a few of them. But real quick, what do I mean by beautiful lie? Well, I mean exactly what it sounds like. It's a saying that sounds nice, it sounds thoughtful and introspective, and it's often given out as advice. But it's just not entirely true. It can be an outright lie either because it's misinterpreted or because it's used in an incomplete way. That's a beautiful lie. And why do beautiful lies even matter? Well, because it's easy to hear them and say, wow, that's so insightful, thank you for sharing. I'm going to structure all of my actions around that catchy one-liner you just gave me. But they're not true. I see all the time that you should take everything with a grain of salt. Just because an older person in your life says it to you doesn't mean that you need to accept it as an unconditional truth. What you should do is strive to understand the deeper meaning behind their advice, extract the parts that are useful for you, and discard the rest. After all, the 48 laws of power states, too much respect for other people's wisdom will make you depreciate your own. Also, I just thought this video would be kind of fun to make, so there's that. Okay, now let's get into the beautiful lies that we love to tell ourselves. Work smarter, not harder is an interesting saying because it's not necessarily a lie, but it can be very misleading. I kind of already explained what it means. People use it when there's an easier or more efficient way to accomplish a task. For example, if you're working construction, why would you carry handfuls of dirt from one place to another when you can load a ton of it into a wheelbarrow and just move a bunch of it faster? The reason I included this saying in the video is that while it can work for simple tasks, for more complex ones, it's virtually impossible to work smart if you haven't done the thing in a very hard way for a really long time. It's impossible to take on a task you're completely new to and suddenly see all the ways that you can improve upon it. You have to get down and dirty and understand the most rudimentary ways to accomplish a task before you can see the ways that it can be made better. Serial entrepreneur, author, and content creator Cody Sanchez actually has a great quote on this topic. It's also the quote that inspired this video, so shout out to Cody. Working smarter, not harder is a beautiful lie. You will not know how to work smart until you've worked very hard for an irrationally long time. So yes, while I would encourage everyone to try and work smart, you gotta work hard first. There's no way around it. Now I have to be careful in calling this one a lie because it comes from the Bible and I don't want to offend anybody. Although I am a believer myself, so don't even worry about that. But the truth is the phrase is misleading, primarily because it's incomplete. The real verse actually says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." Money itself is not evil. It's simply a tool that we use to facilitate the trade of goods and services. That said, the people that have money get to make a choice to use it in ways that can be considered either good or bad. Some people choose good and use it to help the less fortunate.
And I've basically been holding this secret my whole career. When I came back, I got a beneficiary letter, and it said Denzel Washington paid for you. You know, and I was like, what?
Others use it for, well, less than ideal things. But simply generalizing money and calling it evil is the same as saying that knives are evil because they're often used as murder weapons. What the Bible verse is really meant to highlight is that we shouldn't become so obsessed with money that it becomes our primary objective in life. We shouldn't allow it to dictate our choices or allow ourselves to become immoral in the pursuit of it. It's like the great American showman P.T. Barnum said, "Money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant." Learn to use money. Don't let the desire to obtain it use you. This phrase is often used to exemplify that overextending yourself leads to a limited ability to achieve. If you have too many interests and try to take on them all, you will end up just being pretty good at a lot of things, but you will never actually master any of them. And while this is probably true, the way the phrase is most often used frames this in a negative light. It makes versatility sound like a weakness, which is definitely not true. But the thing is, this phrase is also incomplete. The full saying is actually, "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one." What this really means is that while you may not be a complete expert or a specialist in one particular area, you will be better prepared for the diverse challenges of life. Becoming a master takes so much time. I mean, we've all heard that it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. If you were to spend 2 hours a day practicing anything, which is honestly quite a lot, especially in this day and age, it would still take you nearly 14 years to get to 10,000 hours. Or you could practice until you're good, which according to this TED Talk only takes like 20 hours. And once you're good at that, you can take on another skill and become good at that, and then another, until you're good at a ton of different things, making you an extremely versatile and adaptable person. It's like Naval Ravikant said, "The future belongs to the generalist. While specialists will excel in narrow fields, the broad thinkers will connect the dots." Being good at many different things allows you to see things from a wider perspective, to understand how two seemingly unique things are connected, to anticipate how things may change or evolve over time because you're not so specialized that all you can see is one way of doing things. I think I've made my point. Learn as much as you can, get good at a ton of different things. Be a jack of all trades. Great minds think alike is kind of a funny one. It's often used when two or frankly more people have the same idea to show that they're both smart because they both thought of it. It implies that geniuses, people with great minds, share commonalities in the way they think and see the world. Therefore, they're bound to have the same ideas at some point. The funny part of it is that this phrase is also not used in its complete format. The true phrase actually changes the meaning entirely. Great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. Basically, what it means is, yes, smart people do think in a similar way, but so do fools. In fact, fools almost always see things the same because they're, well, foolish. They don't know any better. They don't have the knowledge to think beyond the obvious ideas, so it stands to reason that their thinking will also be the same. The problem with saying great minds think alike is that it encourages conforming to ideas just for the sake of appearing smart, which can lead to groupthink. In the business world, groupthink refers to a situation in meetings where everyone just kind of agrees on something without any critical thinking. It can happen because they want to agree with a certain person, oftentimes supervisors, or just because they want to reach a consensus. Nobody wants to be the odd man out, nobody wants to play devil's advocate, so they all say, that's a great idea, great minds think alike. But there's this quote, I don't know who said it or when they said it, but it goes something like this. The greatest minds are not those who echo the ideas of others, but those who create new ones. Basically, all of this is to say that if you notice that all your thoughts begin mirroring the thoughts of those around you, it's likely time to start questioning your own thoughts. I actually have an entire video on questioning your thoughts. Well, questioning everything really. So consider checking that out next. But with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Remember to take everything with a grain of salt, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.